when I watched in the social media, and I believe it was also in the print media, a situation where the CS in charge of the Ministry of Education, Professor Magoha, insulted a teacher by calling him Mchinga. You can see that teacher is a gray-haired grandfather, someone approaching retirement, and near and you had a situation where a whole CS was calling him Mchinga. I believe that was highly irritating to many people and should be condemned. And that's why I want to condemn it today, that it was quite unfair for that CS to call a teacher Mchinga. It was dehumanizing to that teacher, and it was very unfair. In front of everyone, in front of the students and the whole team which was moving with him around. Possibly, the CS for Education has approached that level of leadership menopause. I believe it requires to retire. He is no longer fit for that office. What has just happened in America, where a dictator who is similar to him, I believe is similar to Trump of the US, who has been rejected by the American people, we also need to reject this one and request His Excellency the President either to transfer him to a different ministry, possibly that ministry in charge of wildlife or such, but not a sensitive ministry like Ministry of Education. This one should be transferred. You saw in the same meeting, the same forum, the same CS condemning teachers, accusing them of stealing desks and chairs. Surely we know that money, 1.9 billion shillings, was given to the Ministry of Education to procure. The people who are likely to steal that money are the ones who are managing the procurement process. It is surely not the teachers. The teachers cannot steal the lockers, the desks, to take where. It was very unfair for him to condemn those teachers for such. Mistreating teachers by directing them to collect rubbish in the compound as he stood to watch, and not even joining them to collect whatever the rubbish in that compound was quite unfair. He should lead by example by collecting rubbish in schools where whenever he finds the school untidy, not clean. After all, he has not provided funding to employ staff to take care of the compounds. He hasn't. He has not. He has not even provided money for adequate renovation of the schools and such improvements. So for him to be condemning teachers unfairly, for that I believe should not be accepted. And I would wish to request even the chair of Labour Committee in the National Assembly to summon him to respond to these issues so that we can discuss whether to impeach him, whether to give him a written warning so that he can now start teaching teachers in the proper manner expected of a cabinet secretary in charge of a ministry which is in charge of molding our youths to be people who can respect others, to be people who can even respect the lowest, the junior-most person. I believe that one we need to take over and ensure that the rights of that teacher are taken care of. That is the one issue which I thought I needed to address today, that we have a CS in the ministry who is a tyrant, a dictator, and mostly he also lacks ideas. You have seen how he managed the COVID. He was unable to manage it. Trump in US was unable to manage the issue of COVID, and he was rejected for that. Why are we retaining this fellow who cannot even manage the program, the education program in this country during this COVID-19? He has been quite confused on it. And we also need to reject him here. But if the president is so comfortable with him, kindly, Your Excellency, take him to the ministry in charge of wildlife. That is where he can do very well, dealing with the issues of animals, but dealing with human beings. This guy is incapable of handling human beings. Thank you.